today's lesson, we're going to look at factoring x squared plus bx plus c. So we're going to factor this trinomial. And what we mean by factoring is we want to express this as a product of two binomials. So let's actually start there. So we're going to start by looking at the product of two binomials. So I'm going to start with an example, x plus 2, x plus 4. And let's go ahead and FOIL that. So this is our first term, x squared. This is our outside term, plus 4x. This is our inside term, plus 2x. And this is our last term, plus 8. And you'll notice we can combine those two terms in the middle. These are like terms, remember? Like terms, we can add the coefficients, and that gives us x squared plus 6x plus 8. So here is our trinomial that we have, and essentially we want to work backwards to take a trinomial, and we can either separate the middle term and factor by grouping, or today I'm going to show you factoring by inspection. And we want to express this trinomial as a product of two binomials like that. So that's what we want to do when we are factoring. So factoring means we want to express a trinomial, in this case, a trinomial, as a product of two binomials. And let me just fix that, as a product of two binomials. Okay, let's look at another couple examples. So let's look at a general term. So let's suppose we have x plus m times x plus n. And we FOIL that. That gives us x squared, those are our first terms, our outside terms, our inside terms, and our last terms. And remember that here we can combine these by adding the coefficients. So we would have x squared plus, I'm going to write this in brackets, m plus n times x plus m times n. Now notice the relationship here between what I've done here and our general form of our trinomial, x squared plus bx plus c. And you'll notice here that c is the product of two factors, m times n, such that those two factors add up to our middle term. And that is equal to the product of our binomial, x plus m, x plus n, like that. Okay, let's take a look at a concrete example of that. So let's say we have x squared plus 8x plus 12. So let's start by looking at the factors of 12 and seeing if we can find two factors that add up to 8. So 12 we know is the product of 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. And you'll notice of those factors, 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. So now we have 2 times 6 is equal to 12, and 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. And that's what we wanted here. And so we can take our trinomial now, and we can express that as a product of two binomials, x plus 2, x plus 6. And let's just go back and FOIL that and double check. So here is our x squared term. That's our first. Our outside plus 6x plus 2x is our inside term, and our last term plus 12. And when we combine those two middle terms, because they are like terms, we get x squared plus 8x plus 12, which is the trinomial that we started with.